Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Dr. Psych Mom Show. I want everybody to subscribe, but not only to my podcast, but I also have this private Facebook group. And I got such an interesting question in my private Facebook group, which I can link to in my description, in addition to subscribing to the podcast, that I wanted to do a podcast about it too. So sometimes there'll be a little bit of overlap, but usually it'll be exclusive content in each. So this one I thought would be really interesting for you guys. It was a question asked about what I think about plastic surgery. And I'd recently talked in the private group about, I did a video on how to give your kids positive body image. And one of my main points there was to show that you have positive body image yourself, and because they probably look like you. So don't be so down on yourself, And your kids probably will learn that they are acceptable and attractive if you feel that you are acceptable and attractive. Now, what about the case of plastic surgery, Botox, or whatever else, So I love all that. I do. I say whatever science lets you do it. I myself had a boob job. I nursed 3 kids. If you don't need a boob job after that, I don't know who does. They should be given out for free as soon as you deliver your 3rd baby. So I did that. I was happy. I paid for it with my advance from my book, How to Talk to Your Kids About Your Divorce, got my boobs done, and I was really happy. I am still really happy. It is a big change. Makes you fit clothes different. I can buy different clothes. I never had big boobs, and now I'm way happier. I like them. And same with Botox. I tried Botox for migraines, so it's covered by my insurance. Yay. All you have to do is have decades of unremitting chronic pain and you finally get something for free. So since I was a little girl of 6, I had terrible migraines. I'm sure that my upbringing didn't help. And finally, when I turned about, 35, maybe even later, like 38, I don't know. I'm 41 now. They finally told me at the neurologist I could try Botox, and I didn't expect anything positive. I thought Botox, in fact, this is funny, I thought that it would make me a worse psychologist because I pictured it being like this frozen face thing, like a person couldn't even smile or frown or something. It is not like that at all. And I get more Botox in my head than the average person. I got 30 needles all over my back and my neck and my shoulders because of my migraines. It actually helps migraines. It reduces migraine frequency quite a bit. I was having them like every other day at some point. And now it's down to like once a week. But anyhow, so Botox, and it goes in your forehead too for the migraines, and that's where they do it for cosmetic Botox. And it looks great. Love it. I still have facial expression. Everybody knows that. I can make a kind of sarcastic face as well as the next person. If not, I would say way better. That's my wheelhouse. So I don't think anything about is wrong about accepting yourself how you are and also changing what you don't like as much. This is the same thing as we do in therapy in every version of therapy for every single issue. DBT, dialectical behavior therapy, which is used for borderline but increasingly for everything. My practice ran a DBT group. It's a form of therapy that's the only empirically supported treatment for borderline personality disorder. The entire thing is predicated on the dialectic between acceptance and change. The idea is that a psychologically healthy individual can do both. They can accept themselves while trying to change. This is the basis of therapy, and I deeply believe in therapy. Otherwise, wouldn't I be a fool, right, to be in this field? So, for example, in couples counseling, people come in, I don't say, man, you gotta just both accept each other. You fuckers, you're never gonna change, man. The best case we could do is just accept it. You, man, accept that the woman's never gonna sleep with you. You, woman, expect that he's gonna be a slug on the couch. We're fine. We all just gotta accept each other. No, I wouldn't make any money in my practice if that is the stupid shit that I said. So instead, you got to deeply and unconditionally love your spouse, but also work hard on changing yourself in ways that they would prefer and ways that do not deeply betray you ethically as a human, certainly. I mean, if your husband wants sex and you don't believe in sex anymore, then you really ought to get out of that marriage and free that man to find someone who does, and you to find a partner who doesn't believe in sex, for example. If your husband has a deep-seated, deep philosophical belief that he really ought to never be romantic, then free him to find some woman that agrees with him if he can. But in most cases, people understand the point that they need to change. And that's just couples, by the way. In individual, it's much more straightforward. We are helping somebody love themselves while also changing how they think and behave so that they could live a more fulfilling life. So could you imagine if somebody came in depressed and I was like, man, you're just going to stay depressed. I mean, that's like how it is. You got to accept it. Depression is biological. There's zero that we can do. There's no medications you should try because you got to love yourself. And we really shouldn't ever try to change your thoughts because those are yours. So let's just sit here and look at each other. I mean, this, quite honestly, not to be a bitch, but this is not far from what some therapists do with supportive listening. You know, it's like, oh, let's come and invent every week. And then what? You know, they get a lot of acceptance, but they don't change. And they can't be productive therapy, in my opinion, with my philosophy, without both acceptance and change. Acceptance of where you are and how you got there, frequently using family of origin work to provide insight, and then a game plan on how you're going to change to live the life that you deserve, and that is your best life. I believe in this so much, I called my group practice Best Life Behavioral Health. Everybody should be living the best life they want. And if you believe that your best life is with breast implants, go, do it, get them. Or Botox, or I don't care what. You know, like a face tattoo. What I feel is would be crazy is saying to your kids, okay, let's look down on those people for getting boob jobs. Why? They're doing what they want to do. What if your kid wants to get a boob job one day? I mean, they would know the risks, they would know the benefits, and they might decide to do it. Would you want them to think that you would judge them? Hopefully not. That would be their choice, their body. You know, like there's whole your body, your choice. That goes for everything. Goes for tattoos, goes for piercing, goes for hair dyeing, goes for everything. Of course, when a child is under your purview, you know, you have a lot of input because you pay all the money, and it's whether you decide that you think this is going to be a good idea, that's your job as a parent, is to be, you know, their brain in certain ways. So, you know, if your 14-year-old says, what I really think I want to do is tattoo a heart on my cheek, you may say, not on my watch. If you still want that when you're old enough to pay for it and live on your own, live and be well. But I personally think this may be a decision you might regret, and my job is to protect you from those as your parent, and I love you, and you're not getting that. Or you could say, cool, I have one too, or, you know, you do you. You know, you could decide to do whatever you want as a parent. But the point here is that judging people for changing their appearance and saying that they don't experience self-love is a slippery slope. Because what about people who just want to look good because they want to buy nice clothes that they like, or they want to work out to have muscles that are more obvious, or they want to put on makeup to accentuate their eyes because they feel like their eyes look better with makeup than without. If we judge everybody, there's not going to be anybody left. So, as I said in the group thing, like there's risks to anything. I grew up in a house that was super, super risk averse because my parents were super, super anxious. We didn't even have a car because it might get into a car crash. So when you grow up like that, it really changes how you feel about risk. If you don't take risks for things that you like, then why be alive? You know, there was some rap song, hip hop song, that I'm super cool with this. But it was like, everybody dies, but not everybody lives. I should figure out where that quote comes from. And I thought that was like super insightful and something that could be a personal motto. Everybody dies, but not everybody lives. Yeah, if you are constricted by risk, fear, can't do this because of this, can't do that because of that, then do you ever deeply live? You know, do you? If you really don't like how you look in some way and you'd like to change it, change it. Now, what the difference is, but what maybe where the acceptance part comes in is, do you feel like you're a lovable person without the boob job? and that you're worthy of love and that you're still smart, successful, etc. Many women don't. And if that's why you're getting a boob job's not going to help. Therapy is going to help, and then get your boob job. But I think that women need to take a page out of the book of men, or at least the majority of men, in this way. As I talk about with my dog analogy, I used it in a podcast before. A lot of men look at weight gain, for example, as like a dog gained weight. Oh, I love my dog. My dog's such a good dog. But man, I've been feeding my dog too much from the table. I've not been taking my dog for walks. Look at my dog. He's so fat. You know, he can barely get onto the couch. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to change how much I feed him extra. I'm going to start taking him on some more walks. In about a month, my dog's going to be fit as a fiddle again. That's how men view their own weight gain. Men after the holidays are like, man, I put on 15, 20 pounds. I got to start going to the gym. But they don't say, and I am not a good person. No woman would ever love me. I'm an idiot. I'm just so useless. No, that's the type of shit that women say to themselves. And we should really, really stop. As you get older, you stop more. But young women are the worst with this. And you know, they really conflate who they are as a person and being a person worthy of love and acceptance with their weight or their boobs or their hair or whatever. And I mean, this is a big problem. And sure, you need to accept who you are and to love yourself and to think you're a good person no matter what you look like. But also, why not get braces or get the skin treatment that you want or put on the lipstick that you like? Like, why not? You know, I would want my partner to continue to try to be attractive for me, and I would do the same for him. And I feel like I do try to do that, particularly if it's not, you know, I don't know, like a massive, huge effort. Like, I don't even know what would be. But I guess, for example, like, if I thought that, like, I look my best in, you know, super high heels, but like we're going on a walk that involves parking really far away from the restaurant, then I might moderate that. But quite honestly, if I was with a man who I'm not, who had a foot fetish, he really liked the heels, great. He could drop me off at the door. Like, we'll walk into the restaurant, I'll be in super high heels. Who gives a shit, really? Like, try to be giving, game, and good, or whatever Dan Savage says about a partner. So in terms of how you want to act and look for your partner, if that's your goal, try to look what they want, you know, as long as it's within reason and it doesn't make you somehow feel bad about yourself. Now, if you go back to my podcast on Marry a Man Who Thinks That You Are His Type, yeah, if you marry a man and he's like, you know what, personally, I like it if you got a boob job, you dyed your hair blonde, maybe you could get some lip filler, and basically, here's a picture of my ex-girlfriend. Can you bring that to the plastic surgeon? Well, then get that marriage annulled. Get the hell out of Dodge very quickly, because this man doesn't want you. But what most men seem to want, in my experience, is for the woman that they're already with to put on some lingerie sometimes, or maybe like not wear yoga pants. Like, cool. Like, I would not want to marry a man who's around in sweatpants all the time either. And you're allowed to say that, or you need to be allowed to say that within your marriage, some regular sort of feedback, give and take about the partner's looks, in my mind. Now, keep in mind, I have a very pragmatic approach because a lot of my couples work is with people who are struggling in the arena of sex and therefore attraction, etc. But I think that a very practical, pragmatic approach is the same in terms of self and partner and how you talk to your kids too. As I was saying in my video, the way when my girls say, am I going to have big boobs one day? I'm like, well, doubtful, but you could either grow them or buy them. You know, if you can't grow them, you could buy them if you want them. You may not want them. You may want them. And I do say, if you want to wait until after you're done nursing, because you never know if it's going to impede your ability to breastfeed, then you do that. But it's not like, oh God, I hated my body. I couldn't even come out of the room until I got my boob job. No, like, my boobs just went away after nursing 3 kids. I did not like that. Wasn't my favorite thing. If I didn't have the money to do it, I wouldn't do it. And nobody would have died, you know. But if you have the opportunity, money, and desire to do anything for your looks, for your basically external dog, your corporeal self, in my analogy, why not? And we want to preach tolerance to our children. So somebody got a boob job or Botox or a facelift, cool, let them do them. Somebody got a face tattoo, cool, let them do them. Do I do all those things? No. Do you? Who knows? You're not an adult yet. You never know. I always say to my kids, you never know what you're going to be like as an adult. Don't look down on people doing things. You have no idea. From when I was in a tween, which wasn't even a term then, until now, I have done a million things I never thought I would do. So when you judge other people, you may be judging a future version of yourself. Don't be stupid. Don't view other people as bad or stupid when you've not been in a situation. That is stupid. To judge other people, that we don't want to do unless you've been in their shoes and you've been them. And since we have so far not figured out sci-fi ways to be exactly in another human being's body and brain, you got no idea what they're going through, and you can therefore not judge. So that is what I think about plastic surgery, what we tell our kids about it, and it was a great topic. And please, everybody, subscribe to both my podcast and my Facebook group if you love it, and if you love my content, rather, or if you love me as a person, that's cool too. And I will talk to everybody soon. Bye-bye.